In the years spanning 1933 and 1945, more than 6 million Jews, Poles, and Communists were subjected to intense discrimination and subsequent death by Nazi Germany. Being forced to wear the Yellow Star of David as a mark of identification, they were marched in lines to their sad and tragic end. Innocent children lost their childhood toward a cause indulging in recovering lost German pride and prestige. What acts were perpetrated in the name of recovering German national pride? In an act orchestrated by belief in Aryan race superiority, undesirable men and women were subjected to brutal cruelty and persecution that declared the Semitic ways as inferior. Years of pent-up anger against the Jews was finally laid loose on the night of November 9, 1938, known as Kristallnacht, or Night of the Broken Glass. Thousands of Jewish homes, synagogues and businesses were destroyed by the Hitler Youth, the SS and the Gestapo, marking the actual beginning of the Nazi Holocaust. The final solution was meted out in a German state-sponsored genocide, killing millions in gas chambers at concentration camps like Auschwitz, Dachau, Sobibor and Majdanek. It is believed that during the height of deputations, up to 6,000 Jews were gassed and sent. Behind all this, the central figure who emerged as a prime figure was Adolf Hitler, Führer to most in Nazi Germany. He was the fourth child among 6 children of custom officer Alois Hitler in Austria in the year 1889. Having failed in his attempt to become an artist, Hitler joined the Bavarian army and quickly rose in the ranks. What were the factors that enabled Hitler's rise to power? Driven by anger and humiliation caused to Germany in the First World War and the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, Hitler quickly rose to power. He joined the National Socialist German Workers' Party, leading it to craftily winning 40% votes in the German parliamentary elections of 1933. A powerful orator and a master strategist, Hitler was able to convince millions of Germans to join his regime. He promised the people a strong and resurgent nation and employed various tactics to attract the German people to his ideology, making them eventually acknowledge his leadership. Catalytic and mysterious events aided him in his becoming a dictator. One took place on the 30th of January 1933, when the title of Chancellor was conferred onto him by President Hindenburg. Another event was a fire that broke out in the Reichstag building on a night in February 1933, destroying precious records of the Weimar Republic. What tactics were used by the Nazis under Hitler? What effect did they have on the German public? Massive rallies and public ceremonies were held demonstrating the might of the Nazi Party. The ballet-like precision of the movement of the uniformed party members evoked the principles of war and violence. The mass swastika banners in black, white and red filled the consciousness of the participants with Nazi ideology. Provoking speeches by the Nazi leaders held the Germans in a hypnotic trance. Hitler's dramatic entrance to a silent audience was followed by a ritualistic rising of hands in the famous Nazi salute, Hail Hitler. He was supported by close aides Joseph Goebbels, his propaganda minister, who used the newly discovered radio, posters and the newspapers to propagate the Nazi message. Leni Riefenstahl, another Nazi supporter, showcased the German might in the famous Nuremberg rallies. Her powerful propaganda films like The Triumph of the Will united the people unconditionally, melting away any resistance. Hope flourished and prosperity did not seem too far as Hitler's economic policy brought about renewal of industry through large public works. Projects were undertaken. These included the world's first freeways or autobahns, as they were popularly known. The world's cheapest family car, the Volkswagen, was innovated by Adolf Hitler himself. Challenges were not new to Germany. This was displayed by the medal tally won at the World Olympics held in the year 1936. The Nazi theory of Lebensraum, meaning acquiring living space, was modified and made into Germany's foreign policy during the Third Reich. What was Hitler's foreign policy? What did he do to achieve his aims? Hitler's foreign policy aimed at destruction of Treaty of Versailles, rearmament of army, reoccupation of lost territories, reunification of Germans. Germany reoccupied Saar region in January 1935. In June 1935, it signed the Anglo-German Naval Pact. It also remilitarized the Rhineland, thus breaching the Versailles and Locarno Pacts. In 1936, Germany signed the Anti-Comintern Pact with Italy and Japan, thus creating the Rome-Berlin-Tokyo axis. In March 1938, it occupied Austria. In the meantime, along with Germany, Italy was becoming bolder under the fascist rule of Benito Mussolini. These developments show the victory of Hitler and the weakness of Britain and France. Understanding between Germany and Italy posed danger for Czechoslovakia. The stage was set and Germany occupied Sudetenland on 15th October 1938. Soon Germany occupied entire Czechoslovakia. These acts laid the foundation for what would become World War II.